what I'm going to say today is David Reel speaking, chairman second, if you will. We have a diverse group of free thinkers on the committee.
Yes.
And I don't want to speak for them, although there's a part of that that goes with the position where you are the spokesperson. But many of those folks have their own opinions on issues. They may or may not match mine, but I just want to make sure I'm not necessarily saying this is the official positions or observations of the Central Committee. Just a disclaimer.
Fair enough.
That I say this without any reservation, none at all, that despite some of the claims and counterclaims about voting irregularities and possible voter fraud in other parts of the country or even the state, which in my humble opinion is another form of voter suppression, but that's not here or there. I have no doubt, zero doubt, that there was any fraud or irregularity occurring in Talbot County in this election cycle or previous ones. Jerry Cook, in my opinion, is a consummate professional, does a great job as a Board of Elections director. And I have never, ever even had an inkling of a thought that things didn't get done right in Talbot County. I would suggest to you respectfully that Donald Trump is, I think this was a referendum on his personality, not on his politics. I know this sounds like a partisan statement. I know it sounds like I'm, toting the company line, but I really wish this election had been focused more on public policy and less on personality, not on. I just didn't feel like there was ever a really good dialogue on what public policy transpired the last 4 years and what the vision was for the next 4 years. And I think the American public, frankly, deserves to hear both candidates say, here's my vision for the future. And I think in Trump's case, it was he didn't articulate his future maybe as well as he could have. And candidly, I don't think Joe Biden did at all, to be blunt about it. I think Joe remember Warren Harding ran a front porch campaign. Joe Biden ran a basement campaign. And I feel the voters were done a disservice by not having more information. And Dave, I got to be frank with you. I blame the media for that too. I think not so much locally, but I think nationally, the media focused a lot on Donald Trump's tweets and his statements and his personality. So I think, maybe his greatest weakness was he didn't understand the political system as well as he could, but that was also his greatest strength. And I would respectfully, again, drive this argument towards the national media, not so much to here locally. I don't know if the media was against Trump because of his positions or his ideology, as much as he threatened their self-proclaimed role as the source of all information. And I believe strongly that Donald Trump called out the media and said, I don't need you. I've got my own mechanism to communicate to the public. I have social media, and I'm just going to go around you guys. And I think if you really ask the media what was the biggest objection they had to Donald Trump, wasn't what he did, it was how he did it. And he basically said, you folks are irrelevant. I don't need you. I don't care about you. And I think the media responded in kind by saying, when you trifle with us and tell us we're irrelevant, we're coming after you. I think Donald Trump is not going away. He's gotten a taste of being in office, and it's a very tough thing to walk away from, whether you're president, governor, state rep, state senator. Once you're in that position, it's tough to walk away from it. Speaking of Talbot County, which I think was the focus of your interest, and I know you know this, but I just want to repeat it. 2016, Donald Trump got 10,724 votes. Hillary Clinton got 8,653. That's 2,000 plus vote difference in 4 years ago. In the 2018 race for governor, it's even more striking. Larry Hogan got 14,081 votes to 39,057 for Ben Jealous. And we all know Ben Jealous was not shy about telling us his progressive views and what he would do as governor. So the Talbot County voters overwhelmingly rejected a progressive platform and a progressive message. I mean, the numbers are what they are. Now we go to 2020, Trump gets 10,946 votes, just almost identical to his numbers with Hillary Clinton. Joe Biden gets 11,062 votes versus her votes of 8653. Significant difference again. The Libertarian candidate got 1.2%, and I've often wondered where the Libertarians would fall if they didn't have, their own candidate to vote for. I mean, 1.2% would have carried Talbot County for Donald Trump, which, as we said earlier, he did not. I raised the question, and I'm still pondering this: what happened between November 2018, when a progressive candidate got smoked big time, and 2020, when a progressive Democrat, and I would make a strong argument that Joe Biden is not a moderate Democrat, he's a progressive, and he was at the top of the ticket, and then the most progressive running mate from the U.S. Senate from California is his running mate. She got less than 2% of the vote in the Democratic primaries before she ultimately dropped out. How did they get the votes they did in Talbot? I think that's a question that we need to look at. And you're right. I don't have the raw numbers, but Mason got 46.5% of the vote with almost a stealth campaign. So yeah. I have to wonder if some of that was Biden coattails. I don't know. And Andy, of course, has been a very outspoken conservative, and as the demographics change, that's going to be something to keep a close eye on. But I just wonder if in 2 years, whatever the Biden-Harris administration is able to do, if people are going to say, it's not really what I bargained for. I didn't like Trump, but replacing him with Biden and Harris is not what I bargained for either. And again, that's not a partisan thing. I just think that's looking at it realistically, what to expect into. The other thing is, who knows in 2 years? This election cycle, the pundits were wrong, the pollsters were wrong. Who am I to say I've got a lock on what's going to happen in 2 years? Who the heck knows? The only thing I know for sure is we're going to have an election in 2 years. Beyond that, nothing else matters.